let's actually dive into the routines themselves. So here's actually, it's funny that you're talking about that one, but 1 week before the birthday, we would send a message that's a birthday reminder. Now, this would be, just the intention of this would be to send out, hey, don't forget this person has a birthday. This would be an activation notice, just letting you know, hey, the routine has started, and who specifically it's been started on. And that would go to the actual person, and then date of birthday, SMS. So that's like kind of pieces of it. But let's go ahead and build a new routine. So to build a new routine using the AI, all we need to do is give it a title, and then select the specific important date. So as a reminder, the important dates are going to be the date that routine or that automation triggers on. So one of the things that I would probably recommend is having a condition, and you can have this with an and or, and then you just go to this far right-hand side, add a condition. And then from here, you can select, specific pieces. So maybe we have a tag that equals April, and that would allow us to kind of sort all of our April birthdays. Maybe it actually is an April birthday tag. So if they did not have that specific tag, this specific birthday routine would not work. So maybe we have a specific birthday routine for each of the months, or if we just want to start off with one bigger one, then we would be good to go. But we have our important date, we have our title. Those are the two things that we really need. And then we can go to let Sam build it. And then it's going to ask us for the overall goal. So these, when you're thinking about what is the overall goal, I would encourage you to start thinking about, man, what would be a really incredible experience for my people? And if you kind of frame it through that lens, it seems like that has been really successful in helping people understand what they want to do. So you said that 1 week before, you like to send a handwritten note, and then you want to send an email on the day of and a call as well. So create a birthday experience with a message to me 1 week before, and an email on the day of the birthday, as well as a scheduled call. So just as simple as that. Like, you had already kind of identified exactly what you're wanting to do. And lots of other things that we can do, but this is going to be a great start. Then we just hit generate. We can see what Sam does. So from here, we like to say that it's much easier to edit than it is to create. So we're going to let Sam do a lot of the heavy lifting. It's creating all of the activities, and right now it's creating all of the templates that'll go inside of it, and then boom, here we go. So reminder message 1 week before. It's set to 1 week before the birthday. It'll trigger, and then it will allow you to have your specific person. Change the color if you want. And then let's check into the send message right here. So I would probably make this pre-birthday message. And then you do probably want to have this selected for automatic processing. What that means is when you have this selected, Sam will be able to send it automatically for you because we're using a templated message. So we're going to click into this. This would be where we could check to see if this template is what we want it to be. So, hey, contact first name. I want to take a moment and wish you a very happy birthday special occasion to celebrate, reflect on the amazing journey, time to cherish. So this looks like a good starting place. What we could do is, maybe you want to spend a little bit of time, edit and infuse, but we can also use this objective piece down here. So this would be where you could call to attention, use the personal details section in the contact to modify the birthday message with 2 to 3 of the personal details, as well as how we might wish them fond enjoyment of these. So that maybe needs a little massaging, but basically what this would do is in the contact card, if we're using those personal details, those are where we would place things, their likes, their dislikes, goals, hobbies. And that would be things like, you might have learned that I'm a St. Louis Blues fan. Well, after the Four Nations face-off, we've been doing really well, and we're on like an 11-game hot streak. So because it's April and we're in preseason, before the playoffs and before we start working for the Stanley Cup, maybe that gets infused into my birthday card. Happy birthday. Hope you get to have a great Blues game, something like that. Using this objective inside of here, it's going to take that template that we have pre-built, and then it's going to take this objective and it's just going to modify it so that it's more custom to them. So this is a really great way for us to actually use the customization. Now, we could click this little shimmers button and Sam would show us an example of that, but because it doesn't actually have a contact tied to it, this specific one using this personal details queue, it may not work super well for us. So, but we can, just kind of see what's going to occur. Cherish the memories, trusted real estate professional, treat you to a spa day on behalf. So again, we're just taking stabs at making it a little more personal. Now, the last thing that I want us to do for this specific message, currently it's going to the routine contact, but this would be a reminder to us for that pre-written message. So I would actually send this to either the record owner or to the specific team member who's going to be handling it. Most of the time, it's just going to be to the record owner. Now, the reason for this is now what we have is Sam is going to basically send this to us, and then we can take this message that it creates for us and we can handwrite it, and then we can put it in the mail. So now we didn't even have to really think about what birthday message we wanted. We can just gather this and we could use this. Traditionally, what you might have been taught was to use all of the different merge fields that pull in all of the different details. And that would be the process of seeing all these fun facts, but then you still have to write the handwritten letter. This way, Sam will send you a pre-written message, and then you can adapt it as you're handwriting it as needed. So that would be how I would build out this pre-reminder. So that one's looking a little bit better. Now, it says that it's auto. This is going to be schedule a call 0 days after the birthday. So on their birthday, they're just going to get added to the call list. Now, we can also select this for automatic processing because we'll just have Sam add them to the call list. We do have this as a follow-up. It actually should be a birthday. And then arrange and confirm a time for the to wish them a happy birthday. I think that we can just adjust this. Now, the call objective here is just like a little note to remind you. So call to personally wish a happy birthday. You can just kind of leave it at that, and it's a call list. And then we do want this to be the contact so that in the calendar itself, it would have birthday call, and then it would have that specific contact. You could click in, you could see their actual contact card, but this will be a really good way for that. So this one is ready to go. It's going to be orange. That's kind of fun. And then the last thing on their birthday is schedule a birthday email. So 0 days after birth date on their birthday. And then let's go with purple. And it's going to send this message. Now, this one, again, we will select for automatic processing if we're just using a template. But we can use that same mechanism that we used for sending out the actual pre-message. This one would just be specifically to the person we're actually sending it to. So there's a little bit of a difference there. So I would start by clicking into the thing, the template, the message template, and then actually reading through, make sure, generally speaking, it's what you want it to be. Filled with joy, laughter, love, time to reflect on the past, celebrate another trip around the sun. That's a Jimmy Buffett reference. That's fun. Express some gratitude, positive. So this is a pretty uplifting, positive one. This is most likely because it's pulling from my writing sample, and positive, sentiment is my writing stance. So yours might be a little different, and that's totally fine. So I like this. This seems like a good stock. Again, get in there. And then I would pretty well use this same objective. Send a birthday message to this person using 2 to 3 personal details. The personal details section, and infusing them into the fond wishes for their birthday. If they do not have any personal details, include one positive hope you have for this next year. Something like that, right? So we're calling attention to personal details. So we're saying, hey, use 2 to 3 of these personal details from that specific section to wish them happy birthday. But this one, if they don't have any personal details, because the other one, we are handwriting, we can kind of self-select. But this one, going to them, if they don't have any personal details, that's totally fine. Include one positive hope for the next year. I hope this year is an incredibly successful, year for you, something like that. Again, we can check this preview, but because it's not got a contact tied to the preview, it's going to not necessarily reflect the personal detail, but it should be able to reference the no personal details and give us what that positive hope would be. We are impressed by your accomplishments. We believe that the future holds limitless possibilities for you. That's kind of fun. So this would go to the routine contact. We can save this. Now, the key here, it is a template. And to be honest, if we wanted to just use the template, we could set it for automatic processing. We could send it out. It's going to be the same message. The only thing that's going to be different is this merge field will adjust for the contact first name, as well as adding your signature. And it would be the same one for every single person who gets this in April. They're all going to receive the exact same message. That's still a great experience, but using that objective personalizes it just a little bit more to them. And so this would be a way that you can just, go one step further using SAM, because we have the power in the AI to actually do that. It's going to go to the routine contact. We save that. Now, because this is where my point was going, because we do have this objective, it's making a modification. So SAM will write it for you, and then SAM is going to put it in your outbox, and you'll actually have to approve it before it gets sent. So it would not be an automatic message that gets sent. And that's kind of a differentiation. So you can go about it 2 different ways. If you need it to be fully automatic and you aren't super concerned with utilizing personal details, or maybe you just don't yet have those personal details, that's totally fine. Let's build a template. Let's make sure it's, what you want. It sounds great. And then it can get sent out. It'll get sent out automatically. We don't even have to worry about it. We can just kind of wash our hands of that. If you want to use those personal details, there's just the single step, and I don't actually have any in here, but imagine this past due one that I have as an example. There would just be an approve button, and then once it was approved, once you like read the message, made sure it sounded good and was what you wanted, or you edit it, then you can approve it and it'll get sent out when it's ready to get sent out, or you could just send it out at that moment. Probably not what you would want to do, because you don't want those getting sent out early, but that hopefully makes sense, that that's the two paths that you can do. Now, it's, I suppose, worth noting, this is kind of what those personal messages would look like. So you can actually kind of test that prompt. In my Cody card, I have personal details. It's just things that I threw in there. And then if I were to click on send a one-off message, it would be directly to me. And then I can let Sam create it the same way. This objective is not actually pulling from a pre-existing template, but it will let me create a birthday message. So send a birthday message to this contact using 223 personal details from the personal details section. If there are none, include one fond wish for them for this year. So again, the ultimate goal is in this specific use case is that personal details, we're calling attention to it. If it doesn't, we have an, a catch-all. If not, let's see what Sam can do. And this might give you a better example or understanding. So happy birthday. Hope you have an amazing day. Take a moment to acknowledge some personal details that make you unique. So see, this would be the opportunity where we would actually want to make sure we, approve these. And maybe we don't want to actually call out personal details that make you unique. That's, something kind of strange. And we could try that prompt again. Maybe Sam would be able to do it better. But I practice a martial art called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and so it's calling attention to that. It appreciated my discipline for that martial art. I enjoy working out. There's a supplement company out of St. Louis called First Form that I enjoy, and then it's also calling attention to the fact that I enjoy coffee. So this is how it was able to gather those personal details and infuse them into the message. And this is kind of the power of using that. Now, our thinking being able to reference things that are actual tie-ins makes it just a little bit more of a great experience for them. Now, whether or not that's what you specifically want to do, that's up to you. But this is a way for you to do that and feel, empowered to that. Now, again, the use case being, if Sam generates anything, it's going to have to be approved. So you'll have the ultimate power. But that is kind of how I would go about building that routine. And that routine, I built a couple birthdays. That routine is going to have several different things. Now, I'll show you this, and I'm happy to kind of give you the guts of it as well. But this is one that I built out, and I'll include the video training that I have for it. But write a birthday card and personalize the message with some of the contact's personal details that would be meaningful to the contact as a part of their birthday. It's another example of how I would use that objective with a birthday reminder. Now, in this case, we're using a lot of merge fields because this is getting sent to you so that you can handwrite this letter, right? Now, I like to think that there's lots of little experiences that maybe you have for your A category contacts. So this specific birthday routine would be, for your best people. Maybe you're gonna do something like order them a birthday book. You know, maybe there's a book that you love sharing with people, or you purchase for some of your people. You could do that. You know, maybe there's a local restaurant that just opened and you get to go try their menu. You get to find your favorite appetizer, and on your way out the door, you pick up, you know, a half dozen $10 gift cards. And then in that personal letter that you send to them, you give them that little $10 gift card and you say, hey, I just tried, you know, restaurant, and here is their best appetizer. It's on me today. Happy birthday. Something like that. You know, people love bottles of wine. I'm not a big wine guy, but if that's for you, there's a really popular cookie company called Crumble Cookie. So, you know, maybe you get them like a birthday crumble cookie. You know, the hubcap sized cookies. They're crazy. You know, maybe send them a flower. But all of these, so, you know, the gift card would be like 4 days before their birthday, maybe, you know, as far as like, you know, 10 days out, so that you have time to prep for this. So order a book a couple days before for the bottle of wine. You know, maybe 1 day before, you just need to, you know, 24-hour notice for ordering a cookie or some flowers. But then on the actual day, you can call and wish them happy birthday. They get put to a call list. And then on their actual day, you also send them that birthday message. And for this specific birthday message, I would just attach a pirate birthday. There we go. And then that would go to the routine contact. Now, this would be if you don't want to use the objective at all. It's just this specific birthday is your patented best-in-class birthday message. This is the one for you. So from there, that is kind of how I would suggest going about building a birthday routine, how you can use some AI in it, as well as some of the things to think about. The first one being, as far as stopping a routine or updating a date. So if we go into the important dates, what we can do is we can long press on the calendar icon, and then it'll give us this warning button. Do you want to remove that specific one? You click yes, it'll clear that field. Now then we would be able to add in, and I didn't have one specifically for this last call received, but if there was a routine, it would ask me if I wanted to stop all of the specific activities associated with it. So that would be the way in which we could do that. Otherwise, if you were to, you know, click in and update it, it would just adjust it. So that's pretty neat. The other thing that you can do is on the calendar section in the specific contact, you can actually add activities or start a routine specifically from there. So if you wanted to just start a one-off routine, you could totally do that. Hopefully this helps a little bit, and I will go ahead and I will open the door from here for us to just start the process. Let's think about, you know, what questions you might have, and we can either follow up an email, or if you want to bring those to Thursday, maybe we can look at those Thursday, or if we need to set up some time and work through this together, that's totally fine too. But hopefully that helps, and I'll talk to you very soon.